AP is reporting that inflation data threatened by government hiring freeze as tariffs loom. That is their headline. Basically, as we go into it, the Labor Department is cutting back on the people that are going to put together the data that tracks inflation. And now,
The mi-
why would they do that?
because the mis and disinformation in this administration just continues. They want us in a bubble where we are only getting information that they are feeding us.
Hmm.
This is absolutely atrocious. And I'm like, what are we doing about this? Because this is very remnant of how they're like, well, before the CDC or the NIH can put out something, it must get our approval, or we're no longer reporting on these things, which were
Right?
vital in those instances for those agencies, vital to public health.
Yeah.
Public health. We're going to end up back in masks and with a broken electrical grid and other infrastructure issues. I mean, and it's because we won't have the proper information. It is absolutely crazy. Crazy pants.
Well, apparently, the department's Bureau of Labor Statistics, which produces its monthly consumer price index, yeah.
Mhm.
So they're reducing the sample size across the country, like in the area.
They are. Again, to get the information that they want. So it will bend to whatever narrative they want fixed. And the fact that it continues, I'm like, my head is spinning
Right?
because people don't see this. Many people are like, oh no, you libertards, you.
Was getting called one this morning. I went to check on one of my, liberal creators. She likes to battle. I throw her some gifts every so often. We're both Lauren. Like, I just feel kindred. And she is married to a woman and Pride Month. So I just like popped in and I was tap, tap, tap and threw her a couple gifts during her battle against these two just they're window lickers. Let's just put it that way. She had a bunch of MAGA in her chat and they were like, oh, I love making liberals cry and like blah, blah. And I'm like, no, we're not crying because like you're mean, you're so mean, or like
Not at
you're
all.
right, we're crying because we're watching our Ks get destroyed, we're watching like our parents not be able to like do anything because they can't get their Medicare, and like people are getting booted off their insurance. Like, no, that's why we're crying.
We're
We're not
watching.
crying because you called us a mean name.
Absolutely
Fuck
not.
off.
We're crying because you're driving the country into the toilet.
Yeah. And you're too dumb to realize it.
Because you're like, oh no, he's a smart businessman.
Blanket tariffs are a great idea, said no economist worth their beans ever.
It's only gonna hurt for a little while. He said it was gonna hurt a little bit. That's not gonna hurt us.
Yeah. This isn't like a tattoo, you dumb fucks.
Not at all. Not at all. But we'll continue to foe. Unfortunately, those of us who even did not want this, we're gonna continue to have to find out as well.
Because when I read this, I was like, this is so blatant. It's like we're all talking about where inflation is at. Everybody's concerned with inflation. Even the fucking window lickers are like, oh, well, the economy was awful under Biden. Like, they don't know their shit. And because that's just
Mhm.
what they're told, like you say. So, okay, so you're concerned about inflation, but then you're going to take away the ability for people in the government to track inflation, the actual inflation on the ground.
Because we don't want you to know what's happening with inflation. We want you to know what you tell us. And when we tell you it's not so bad, there'll be inadequate data
Yeah,
to kind
because
of.
that's the thing. They're like, oh, Baltimore is like, this is when I make sure that then I can go in the Oval Office and be like, no, there's no inflation. It's
Mhm, mhm.
gone. And no one will be able to be like, but
Absolutely. This is absolutely the craziest thing. And then that we're watching this happen in real time, that the demise of the country is happening in real time. in certain instances because they're just all over the place. We're in a sense powerless to stop it. Save the next election.
If we have it.
I think we're gonna have it. I think we're gonna have
Is it
it.
gonna be free and fair?
Now that we'll have to stay tuned, but I certainly hope we do. I hope that people realize the direction we're going in. A bunch of these civil liberties are at stake, and maybe we better watch it, get on board, and resist. Otherwise, we're already screwed. But
Yeah, I mean, we're no longer talking about like, are we at risk of, well, dictator, okay, a dictator is too far, but like oligarchy, I think we kind of fit that.
yeah, for sure, we're there.
We're
We're there.
there. We're not, this isn't like, back in January when we first started doing the A Collective and we were like, do we think we're gonna get there? We think we're probably gonna get there, but like, are we gonna get there?
No, we're
No,
there.
no, now we're there. And I mean, I get that none of them paid attention, but how they don't realize we are basically barreling towards 1941 Germany. And I'm getting so tired of people being like, don't compare him to Hitler. I'm sorry. There are states like that want to basically like,
That's what this is. That's absolutely what this is. It's crazy.
I just
And people are looking, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You know what to do.
get loud.
Yeah. Get loud.
Don't be complacent. Call your state representative.
Absolutely.
Mine's been
Call
hearing
them.
from me a lot. It's
Hi,
me.
Dad.
I
Crazy.
hate you.
This is
But you already know that. I mean, we have our marching orders. You reach out to your states, you reach out to your senators, you reach out to your congress people, you reach out to your state officials, your local officials.
absolutely.
Anyone who you can get a contact for,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let them know.
Absolutely. We have got to, because if we do not, we're in trouble. We're in so much trouble.
And remember, friends, she may be like a doomsday prepper, but she's usually the one talking Stacy and I off the cliff. But now she's saying it. So,
And keep in mind, while I'm saying it, I'm getting prepared.
yeah, she has butter.
I have butter, I have vanilla, I have rice. I'm going to have laundry detergent, buttermilk. I have all the things because, listen, I'm not going to be caught off guard by this foolishness. I'm going to have all the things I need. It's still a decent price, friends.
I don't have the freezer space. I also can't put, the guy told me, I was listening to him when I did my walkthrough because he was very attractive. And he told me I couldn't, like, the electrical outlet thing was not strong enough to support like a refrigerator or a deep freezer
Where?
in my that thing that you put a car in a garage.
What about your basement?
Oh yeah, I might.
Ma'am, go get you. You better get on the TikToks and get to shilling for a $250 deep freezer.
Yeah. How do I get
Ma'am.
a pay pig?
Oh, oh, what?
We'll talk about that later. Okay, so speaking of other really crazy things,
Because it's just madness over here.
yeah, it's fine. Democracy is just circling the toilet. It's fine. Yeah, I'm getting really.
And we're just devolving along with it.
Speaking of just things that I did not have on my bingo card, like social, especially social media or like, just media in general, but bingo card would be that a weatherman from Florida would publicly basically speak out against the Trump administration's dissolvement of the majority of, NOAA and all things weather.
And here we are. Hurricane season just started.
Sunday. It's fine.
And for the past like 20 years, how many times we've gone through all the names?
Yeah. Well, and I
And
put a pop up on our last one explaining that we can only use 21 letters because the other five don't have it. They have to have six names per letter because there are six different lists that they rotate through.
I did not know that.
See, look, you
Tell
cause
you,
me to learn sometimes because I'm
yeah.
like, oh, she said some things and I got to. no one else, I don't understand, so I'm gonna do a pop-up.
We've gone through all the names, friends. We've gone through all the names, all
Mhm.
of them. Like my weather guy here in Metro Atlanta was just talking about the fact that there is a tropical disturbance already. And he prefaced it by saying, yeah, friends, I know it's early in the season, but it's really active right now. And there's a good chance that this could go ahead and develop into our first named storm of the year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're already off to the races. FEMA has been decimated, no boots on the ground
National
for
Weather Service is
advanced warnings, for predictions, for preparedness. The National Weather Service does more than just say, "Hey, it's about to rain." They get us prepped, they get us ready. This is how state agencies, so in Georgia, it's GEMA.
yeah.
It's GEMA. GEMA relies on the National Weather Service to help get itself together for natural disasters, hurricane preparedness, tornadoes, other natural disasters that can befall the great state of Georgia. And here
Mhm.
we are gutting these agencies and leaving them with minimal staffing. And so when the next natural disaster happens, we didn't realize we're going to hire, or, it's going to come out that these agencies are short and the people will
Oh, it
suffer as
already
a result.
has. So, nearly half of the NWS forecast offices had 20% vacancy rates by April, according to Newsweek magazine. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is, I mean,
Experts warned of the consequences that the cuts would have on weather forecasting, saying it could risk lives and livelihoods. On Monday, the NWS said it would be hiring more staff to stabilize the agency. We're already in hurricane season. Nope, not a thumbs up. Wrong way. Yeah, that.
like,
So
nice.
but yeah, South Florida weatherman John Morales decried the federal spending cuts to the National Weather Service and National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA,
Uh-huh.
during his forecast on NBC6 on Monday, saying it is affecting his ability to do his job. Morales played a clip of him from 2019 confidently saying that Hurricane Dorian was going to turn away from Florida, seeking to reassure state residents. Quote, and I am here to tell you that I am not sure I can do that this year because of the cuts, the gutting, the sledgehammer attack on science in general, Morales said.
Absolutely.
But I mean, how are the little bitties in the what is that place called where they all get STDs in their late life? The villages,
Oh
allegedly.
shit, that's bad.
There have been docu
No, they get busy too.
yeah.
Nursing homes, all the places,
Woo!
all
But
the
the
places.
villages apparently that's where the pineapples start, allegedly. But like what are because there are a ton of Trump. They do Trump golf cart parades there. Like are they understanding? Like, do you think it's getting through to just those like old ass Republicans that were like, oh well, or no? Still no. Not even when the weatherman is like, I can't tell you whether you're gonna live or
Those
die because
people
I don't
don't
know
want
where
to,
the storm's gonna go.
they're not going to listen. They're going to say, oh, he's just another liberal somebody. And he could be probably one of the most conservative people ever. He just understands that his job is being affected by the way in which these cuts. And let's be clear, those Republicans in Congress, publicly, they're saying one thing, but let's be clear, privately, they don't like how this is going down. They do not. They're just not saying it publicly.
Well, and you're lovely, lovely just in her. But
That she didn't read the bill.
MTG didn't read the bill. She didn't even make it, like, her staff didn't even make it to what, page 200? And she was like, I didn't know. I wouldn't have voted for it. I'm like, bitch, stop being such a pick me girl. Elon is not going to put a baby in you. I realize that he wants 5 million of his own children, but he ain't going to put one in you because even he knows you're dumb as a box of rocks.
She
Allegedly.
didn't read the bill.
Didn't read the bell. Her staff didn't read the. Can her staff read?
Group things. The Republican backed bill, I should vote for it.
Yeah,
Because he's
I read
called it
it.
the big, beautiful bill. I should vote for it. I shouldn't read it for myself and see it could be detrimental to my own state. It could be detrimental to my constituents. Okay. All right.
A number of y'all are getting reelected. Hate to tell ya. And you can thank that big, beautiful bell. I know I will be, as long as it doesn't. Chuck Schumer.
He better do his freaking job.
I
He
mean, at
needs to
this
do his
point,
job.
I'm not sure anyone is happier seeing him enter a room than they are seeing him leave, but I need him to fucking get a backbone.
Yep.
Yay. Okay. So, friends, we are aware, and you may or may not be aware, that the Supreme Court has issued a ruling on the reverse. I can't even. Okay.
Reverse discrimination case of a woman. We know about it. I just can't talk about it right now.
And obviously now I can't even either because I just went off the rails about other stuff. And so we are aware that it's happening or that it has happened. We're going to take some time. I don't have the time or the money to drive down to get her out of jail.
So I'm going to take the
Yeah.
weekend to gather myself, and then I'll be able to speak on it very intelligently on the next episode.
Yeah. So
As you
look
can
forward
see,
to
my
that.
voice has gotten real low and just real calm because I'm raging on the inside about this right here. Because this is wild business. This is absolutely bananas.
Yeah. I take back the like one nice thing I said about you, you red hooded.
So there we have it. There we are, friends. That's where we stand right now.
Yeah. We'll see you on Tuesday. We hope you have a great weekend. Try to remember that two things can be true at once. You can be screaming on the inside because you are not a window licker and you know what is happening and you are speaking out and you are doing all the things, but you are still allowed to enjoy your life and go enjoy a pretty day or whatever you want to do. So let's try to do that. And until then, stay loud, stay opinionated.
Baby, as always, at us later. At us later. Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of At Me Later. We drop new bite-sized episodes packed with news and sass every Tuesday and Friday. So make sure you're following us wherever you get your podcasts. And because we love validation, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, and drop a comment to let us know what you think. It helps us more than you know. At Me Later is an A Collective production, and we'll be back in your ears soon. But until then, stay loud, stay opinionated, and as always, at us later. We'll see you on Friday. Or no, Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see you on Tuesday. This is Friday. Hi.
Down. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. And action. No.
Oh no, and it didn't unlock. Okay, so